We are back, Book Babe, and what better way to come back with 3 book recs that will elevate your audiobook experience. Thanks for sticking around. I have so many fun news. This year I'm partnered up with Macmillan Audio to do ALCs, which are advanced listener copies, because I just adore audiobooks so much. But I had to get a video out to you guys before leaving again. So here I am. Don't say I don't love you. I still have boxes behind me. I finally have my shelves up. I'm finally settled at my home base in my new space in the midst of travel. Even though I have an unexpected trip that I can't wait to share with you all, I'm just happy to finally have a solid space to come back to, and hopefully things will settle down after this travel. But I've been saying that for 4 months now, so who knows. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, and I found out June is audiobook month. Hooray! Funny enough, I was not a huge fan of audiobooks, but I am here to convince you that they are freaking amazing. You need them. It is a great compliment if you still love to read physical copies or your ebook, read with your eyeballs. I love audiobooks so much, and I'm officially finding some favorite narrators. I'm officially finding out what I love in an audiobook, how it really elevates your reading experience, how a narrator can really make or break a book, and how I'm intentionally seeking out certain narrators now I have not been around. And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the continuous comments. Thank you for the support on heavier book discussion. I am always on the fence making those, but every single time I've made one, it's really opened up a forum for discussion. I'm so glad. Thanks for watching. Hello. Back to audiobooks. If you're not an audiobook lover, you're in the right space. I was strictly a physical book person, only read with my eyeballs. I still do like a tandem read with them, an immersive read it's called, when you're listening and also looking at the same time. So that type of reading really ingrains in your brain. It is crazy. Most of us are on the go, whether you are editing, creating content, moving, traveling, doing all these crazy things. You need audiobooks. Books are like TV shows to me sometimes, where I want to know what happens next. In a TV show, you can play in the background and like kind of keep watching in a sense, even though it's just noise in the background. I do not want to stop reading my book when it's so good, but I have to go run errands, get groceries, drive, whatever. It is amazing to be able to plug in the audiobook and like keep driving, move along, and keep reading. I'm so excited to share 3 of my favorite audiobooks of all time, because these narrators are freaking phenomenal. The story is incredible, but the narrators just take it to a whole other level. Starting with Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, narrator Helen Laser has been nominated for so many awards because of her incredible voice. Her acting is phenomenal. She really made me believe she was June in this book, and we all hate June, okay? If you have not picked up Yellowface yet, you need to. It is straight up like sipping tea, just celebrity gossip. I bought this for a friend recently too, and she has been eating this book up. It is so good, but the narrator just did an incredible job of making us dislike June even more. The way she made us believe that June really believed these awful, racist, biased, prejudice, entitled thoughts is insanity. R.F. Kuang wrote a really hot book about the publishing industry and how it really picks its golden star of the year, the season, and makes sure that author succeeds. There is a ton in that book that I was surprised R.F. Kuang called out, and even more surprised to see a lot of authors and publicists and publishers come out and say, yeah, this is pretty accurate, because it's just baffling. I kid you not, it is straight up chisme, okay? And chisme is a Spanish word for gossip or like tea, but I just love the Spanish word so much more. It is so much more satisfying to be like, that's what chisme, okay girl, we got chismosos here, we got gossipers here. This will be so entertaining for you, and you will be baffled by the way this narrator thinks, the way the narrator talks to you directly as a reader. And I actually found out she is also the narrator for the Midnight Ramblers. I met the author at the Tucson Festival of Books and her book was right up my alley. It gives Daisy Jones and the Six vibes. I can't wait to actually try the audiobook. I started the physical book and then I heard the audiobook was narrated by the same narrator of Yellowface. I have to embark on this ghost writer rock star journey that is the Midnight Ramblers. I would say out of the three I'm recommending, Yellowface ranks at number 2. And speaking of Daisy Jones and the Six, this audiobook is everything. It is the first book that really stuck out to me and made me realize there is a whole other experience and rating when it comes to audiobooks. This book has an entire cast. I loved it so much. The book itself is actually an interview style type of book, and again, here I am with the tea. I guess I just love a book with some good chisme in it that makes it seem like I'm reading some scandal or Lady Whistledown out here appearing in the modern age. If you know, you know. I just love a book that is entertaining, okay? And this is definitely super entertaining. The book itself focuses on a band. It gives very much like Fleetwood Mac vibes. I heard that was a big inspiration to the author, and it's actually, like I mentioned, in an interview format. What happened? How come they were blowing up and had these huge opportunities and then disappeared out of nowhere? Could it be that our lead singers actually had a little something going on, but he was married and had kids and she was just a hot mess? Daisy Jones is a really interesting character. You do get a bigger surprise toward the end of the book that I really appreciated, but I just have to shout out the narrators. Freaking amazing. Obviously, the interviewer is going to talk to multiple people to get the full scoop, to get the full story, and that's why it feels kind of like this little gossip column or this entertainment tonight segment, because you are getting the scoop of Daisy Jones and the Six and what happened to them from their start to that final show in Chicago, I believe. I listened to it a lot while I was doing chores, which again just shows you that audiobooks are amazing. Although Daisy Jones and the Six was the first book that like highlighted the incredibleness of audiobooks and was at the top of my list because it really was the only favorite audiobook I've ever had in terms of narrator and entertainment, I actually ended up ranking Daisy Jones and the Six as number 3 on my top 3 favorite list. And at number 1, oh my gosh, make way guys, make way for Mr. Steve West. That narrator, phenomenal. How many times can I say phenomenal? And you guys are like, Joanna, pick another word. Many more times. I had my jaw on the floor with Steve West. Steve West narrated Masters of Death, a book by Olivia Blake. Masters of Death has like 7 to 9 different characters, but we have one narrator. And let me just tell you, this book has so much dialogue in it. Like if you open the physical book, there will be just lines of straight dialogue and it won't tell you he said, she said, Kate said, who Liam said, Henry said. No, it won't tell you who is talking. When you're physically reading, you'll be able to tell by the way the characters speak and also by seeing who speaks first, who joins after, and then you can kind of tell. But in an audiobook, that is very difficult to accomplish because when you're reading, you don't see those cuts. You don't see the paragraphs. You don't see when you start a new paragraph or a new line without some sort of narration in there saying he said, she said. And Steve West blew my mind. His voice acting, truly acting. He had a distinguished voice, a distinguished pitch, accent, tone, sassiness, character for every single character and nailed it. I was like, the director and producer of this audiobook must keep notes and Steve West must have some notes somewhere or like voice memos so he can remember how does Violet sound, how does Fox Demora sound, how does Death sound, because I was just, this is insanity. This book is a masterpiece. I would argue Masters of Death is one of, if not the best writing Blake has ever written. That book is phenomenal in its themes, but also in its structure and the way it unravels. It is insane how Olivia Blake's brain works. And I tried to ask her when I had some time with her at one of the festivals, how did you accomplish this? And she just said, I have no idea. I think you will be insanely impressed by voice acting through this audiobook. Out of the three, this is my #1 favorite audiobook of all time. I think that is going to be incredibly difficult to beat. Steve West has suddenly become one, if not my favorite narrator of all time. I was actually so excited because I recently read Fireborn. You guys will hear all about that book soon, by Rosario Munda. It is a fantasy dragon book, of course, and Steve West narrates one of the two voices. And I was so excited to listen to Steve West again. Back to Masters of Death. It has surprising themes. It has death itself as a character, and Fox Demora, who is a very interesting character and basically the adopted son of death. It is one of those books that I will want to reread. It is an audiobook that I wish I could just own forever and like put it on vinyl or something and like listen to it because it is just so good. Don't know what else I need to tell you to recommend it. All these characters have really large personalities as well, and Steve West nails it. It is a very intentional read. This is not something they can play in the background and kind of just like zone in and out or something like that. This is something that you really have to pay attention to or you will be lost. You will lose so many little nuances that really unravel the story, and the payoff at the end of the book is top tier, fabulous, love it. Masters of Death is the moment, and I was just so happy to see a friend pick it up. I immediately messaged her and said, you need to pair this with the audiobook. You have to pair this with the audiobook. And she walked away just freaking blown away like I was. She was like, thank you so much for recommending the audiobook. That was insanely good. Now she wants to read more of Blake's books, which makes me so happy. But this book is definitely just so immersive, complicated, intelligent. Her writing is so intelligent, and Steve West is amazing. I also found out that Blake works very closely with her narrator. She is very picky, and she also loves to really partner with them to really bring the book to life. So this just shows you that Steve West really went above and beyond. I mean, his skills are already so incredible, but to know that the author and the voice actor really paired up to make this such an intentionally amazing, mind-blowing book just speaks volumes. So I hope I managed to convince you to pick one, if not all of these books up and try an audiobook for yourself. You'll be surprised. Audiobooks just do so much. I will stand by them forever, and I can't believe it took me this long to get into audiobooks, but I am so happy I did. Can't wait to do more audiobooks. Can't wait to give you more recs. I am off to finally pack for that next trip, you guys. So exciting. Can't wait to talk to you about that one. Definitely follow me on Instagram for those updates, on my story as well. I'll do my best to post more in our community tab. And if you've enjoyed this chaotic fangirling and rambling and you're not yet subscribed, hit that sub button. Join your fellow book babes. We try so many different books on here and different styles. We are just finding our way on this channel, and you're more than welcome to connect and chat with me on here. Thanks so much for watching. I definitely missed you guys. I hope you missed me too, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!